updates over taking over in the Arab region. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Badr Abdulati traveled to Pakistan on Saturday to meet with his counterparts from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey for talks which will center on regional escalation. Actually, the two-day discussions are expected to focus on recent developments and also on the ongoing military escalation and the efforts to contain tensions inside the Middle East. The Pakistani government said that top diplomats would be in Islamabad on Sunday and Monday, adding that they would meet with the Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. And for more details, we're joined over the phone with Dr. Mohamad Ezaby, international relations expert. Good afternoon, Mr. Ezaby.
Good afternoon to you.
Actually, the soft diplomacy is one of the major roles that Egypt might be assigned now to be able to contain the situation. Now, how do you assess the collaboration with Turkey, with Pakistan, and with the different countries to be able to seek means and contact Iran and find a way out, an exit out of this crisis?
Well, in my assessment, the past later meeting bringing together Egypt, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey is not a routine diplomatic engagement. It is a calculated strategic move shaped by monitoring regional pressures and shifting global dynamics. What we are witnessing in the early formation of a coordinated access, not a formal alliance, but a flexible framework designed to manage crisis rather than escalation them. The first step to explain this movement is the strategic motive. The primary driver behind meeting is clear. There is a growing recognition that the current regional environment, particularly tensions surrounding Iran, cannot be managed individually. Each of these countries faces direct or indirect exposure to instability. Egypt is focused on Red Sea security and regional spillover. Saudi Arabia is dealing with energy security and direct trade. Turkey is balancing regional ambitions with international economic pressure. Pakistan is navigating complex geopolitical alignment. This reflects that assured strategic necessary coordination over isolation.
Right. The choice probably of Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey is probably studied very well by Egypt to form that small coalition to be able to set a plan, a very smart foreign policy plan or soft diplomacy to be able to set the target, especially that Iran have stated 15 conditions so that they could sit on the negotiating table.
Well, we can say that Egypt gathered Turkey and Pakistan and Oman and Saudi Arabia come with them now. Try because Egypt have a balancing relations with all partners, with all countries in this struggle. We know that Egypt have good relations with Iran before this war, and the great relations between Egypt and the United States and Arab countries. So Egypt try to play a great role to make this escalation, especially the security dimensions. From a security standpoint, the meeting carries significant implications, and discussing likely include intelligence coordination, joint approaches to non-state fleet, protection of critical maritime routes. Also, the political recalibration politically the significant runs deeper. We are witnessing the transformation of previous tensions into areas of cooperation, improving relations between Egypt and Turkey, Saudi Arabia ongoing regional de-escalation strategy, Pakistan positioning itself as a bridge between different blocks. This indicates a move away from ideological rivalry towards pragmatic alignment.
Right. The Minister Shahbaz Sharif held already phone talks with the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. There were talks, and again, there is expected to be more communication on this coalition's part and Iran. From your own point of view and assessment, what are the main points that are supposed to be focused, even if negotiations are not really hopeful? What exactly could be done even to contain the situation?
It depends. If Shahbaz Sharif can convince Masoud Pezeshkian to stop any strike towards the conflict, it will be a great point, and it will make a balance in this struggle. But I think, in my point of view, that Iran will not do anything like that. Iran wanted to put Hezbollah in any agreement. Iran didn't want to discuss the rocket project, didn't want to discuss the nuclear project. So no way to succeed this negotiation. I think that the war will continue at least 3 to 4 weeks more till that end.
If we're talking about continuing the possible continuity of 3 to 4 weeks of a war that only 2 or 3 weeks have impacted in that grave escalation of the oil and gas prices and shaking the whole economic and investment market to the roots, what exactly could be expected from that extension of time if it really continues, God forbidden?
Yes, we know that what have done by Houthi when he showed in this war to support Iran, he strikes Israel, he may strike other countries in the area, and it will lead to continue this war, not at least for 3 to 4 weeks. We saw that Houthi announced that it will not be only a strike that will happen. He may, by announcing of Iran, he may try to close Bab al-Mandab Strait, and if it happens, it will make a great crisis in international economy. So I think that the escalation will continue at least 3 to 4 weeks.
Right. Earlier, Houthis have emerged in the scene and have even directed strikes against some vital places in Israel, and they have claimed responsibility. Now, experts, after that incident, they warned that the Iran-backed Houthis have potentially the ability to potentially create a disastrous economic shock around the world. If Houthis ramp up the role in this conflict by targeting vessels in the narrow Bab al-Mandab Strait of the Red Sea, how do you expect the escalation or the situation? You choose whatever you like from this description. In case Houthis are expanding their contribution in this scene.
Well, the Houthis' potential entry into the conflict is not occurring in isolation. It reflects further Iranian strategy, also of leveraging aligned non-state actors across the region, often described as a part of Iran's axis of resistance. the Houthis provide Tehran with a strategic advantage. We can say plausible deniability combined with a systematic pressure on the adversary. Their geographical position in Yemen offers a critical lever control over parts of the Red Sea. Coastline enables them to threaten key maritime routes, particularly the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, one of the world's most vital choke points for global trade and energy shipments.
What type of priorities do you think, if there are efforts of diplomacy being exerted and negotiations will be put on the table and all this, would it be prioritizing over only, even if the negotiations fail, only over the regulating how they are going to run the issue of the Hormuz Strait and Bab el-Mandeb, and especially the Houthi side, or is it going to be lessening or rationalizing the 15 conditions that Iran have set and narrowing them to only the main conditions only, so that the United States would respond? How exactly would this negotiating team going to prioritize the conditions of negotiating?
To be clear, Iran cannot close the Hormuz Strait for a long time. It doesn't have the power to have a long time to close the Hormuz Strait, especially in front of American Navy. And it may tell Houthi to close Bab el-Mandeb Strait, but they can't close it also for a long time. So I think the conflict will continue, especially no one wants to have some, to simplify his objective. Donald Trump put conditions, Iran put conditions. They cannot have a deal, especially everyone insists on his conditions, so that I take the struggle will continue, the escalation will be more wide in the next weeks.
Right. But then talking about what's happening in Lebanon and the Israeli violations that are meanwhile taking advantage of this very dire situation and striking Lebanon, they almost threatened that they are going to enter Beirut. So how do you assess the situation with Israel and inside Lebanon?
Smotrich say that the time that Israel have a new border starts from Litani River, and they insisted to take care of the weapons of Hezbollah. They insist to destroy any infrastructure of Hezbollah. It will continue till France to get involved in the negotiations and stop that strike towards Lebanon.
Right. It was heard that there were statements from the U.S. administration, the Secretary of State, I believe. He stated that there might be some ground invasion in the coming week or so. So with the history of the United States failing profoundly with their ground, historical, previous ground invasions before, do you think this could happen, and will it add to the side of the U.S., or it will add negatively, as usual?
It will happen, but not only with the American army. Many countries will share, and it will not only in Iran. It will spread to reach Yemen and try to end the existence of Houthi in Yemen.
At this point, we'd like to thank you so much, Mr. Mohamad Al-Ezaby, the international relations expert. Thank you so much for your valuable input. And by this, we come to the end of special edition for this hour. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV.